We are bloody away. Hello, guys. JP from JP's Pet Nation. Absolutely amazing. I'm just double checking my live, guys. So I don't want to be talking to an empty audience. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'll be 2 seconds. Oh, and I'm back in the room. I'm just double checking my live, guys. Like I say, this is a live Q&A I want to do with you guys. Because like I say, I love hearing from you beautiful people. Let me just check that we're live, guys. Just got to check. We are live. Just get it on screen so I can see you guys. And I can see all your beautiful comments as well. Sit back and I'm going to watch you live. Okay, we are live. Let's have a party. Like I say, if you've got any questions, let me know in the comments down below. I love hearing from you beautiful people. Any questions you got, or let us know. Like I said, I've not actually made a video this week, so I thought have a little bit of a chat with you guys on here. Ask me whatever you want, and I will talk to you until my phone dies. So yeah, it's pretty simple to do. Like I said, we've got a lot of things going on at JP's Pet Nation at the moment. We've been away this week, away in Skegness and Devon, doing a lot of filming. Monday's video is going to be a massive aquarium tour. We're also, Friday's going to be a tour of the place as well. But we've got a thing where we swam with the sharks at the aquarium. I'm just waiting for Amy to get back to me and say what she's doing with the edits and that, because obviously that was underwater one. We have to use different cameras for that one. So that's going to be pretty cool. Like I said, any questions got, let us know in the comments down below. I love hearing from you beautiful people. Let me just get this brand thing up. 1 minute, guys. Let me try and get the question. That's many things you want that. I'll put that one up there, guys. Obviously, if you've got any questions, let us know in the comments. I love hearing from you beautiful people. So that aquarium tour is going up on Monday, and then also there's another one going up on Friday, which is of a seal sanctuary. That was pretty cool. And also, we are going to be uploading on Monday and Friday weekly now at 2 p.m. UK time. We're also working on a massive 10 of the best zoos in the UK. We're working on that at the moment as well. It's going to be pretty cool. And also working on another podcast. First podcast took off really good, so we're doing season 2, but this time season 2 is going to be coming to JP's Pet Nation. We've got our first guest lined up. I don't want to tell you too much about him, but he does a lot of things for the wildlife out there as well, and he does a lot of talks with puppets and things like that to obviously educate children into watching. Like I said, got any questions, ask away, guys. But yeah, there's so much going on at the moment. Obviously, if you're not following us on social media at the moment, go to Instagram. You'll see all the photos up there. We've got some photos on there. Put a lot in our stories up there. So it's been pretty cool to see you there. What else are we working on? Working on pretty much a lot of stuff at the moment. The top 10s are taking off really well. So we're going to look to release the top 10 weekly if we can. So our new upload schedule is going to be Monday, 2 p.m. UK time, and Friday, 2 p.m. UK time as well. Back like the old days, because I think it's going to be a lot better if we keep it routine of uploading. Like I say, the content's going to stay the same as well, so there's no worry there. We're going to keep everything exactly the same, just that we're going to be more organized so you guys can benefit from that as well. The podcast season 2 is coming out next month, maybe. We've got 10 guests on that. They're not invert YouTubers. I don't have nothing to do with them, if I'm honest with you. They're not my cup of tea. They are more of people doing the hobby in other hobbies as well. I've got a couple of zookeepers taking part as well, which is going to be pretty cool. Like I say, there's a lot going on at the moment. Got any questions, let us know in the comments. I love everything beautiful people are ready to do. And we are started trying to film and edit videos differently as well for you guys, so we can try to make them more educational for you as well. Because that's what we want to do. We want to try and make them educational and fun at the same time. Because obviously we want to reach more people if we can. So what have you all been up to this weekend then, guys? You done anything amazing? Anything at all amazing? I love hearing from you. Obviously, if you ask me questions, it doesn't seem like talking to myself, which I find really hard to do, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, I thought I'd go live this time just to talk to you guys about it, really. Because this podcast is something I've been working on for quite a long time. Season 1 went amazing. So obviously I'm releasing season 2 onto here, which is going to be pretty cool. Like I say, some of the guests I've got lined up are phenomenal people and absolutely amazing. Some are friends in the hobby and some are obviously not friends in the hobby, but they've got some interesting stories. Like, I don't want to spoil it, but the first episode what's coming out, this guy, he works with puppets and he educates people with them basically. He's pretty much an amazing guy. I just saw his work the other week at Bucklands as well. Amazing, amazing, amazing work he does. Um, he uses animals and dinosaurs to educate the younger generation in a fun way, which is going to help with them understanding it as well. I've also got a zoo tour coming up as well, guys, which is going to be pretty cool as well. That'd be pretty interesting one to do. Let's just get the other banner up, guys. Sorry, I'm just using my phone at the moment. Like, if there's any collaborations you'd like me to do, let me know in the comments. I do want to hear from you guys. I'd love to hear what collaborations you would like me to do. And if you would like to be part of it, give us a DM. If you want to be part of any of the upcoming videos, DM us on social media or also give us a DM on here. So if you've got any questions, guys, and also we are needing mods for the live, because we're going to go live a bit more. And we're obviously going to get some haters coming on and some trolls, which we don't really mind. It gives us more views and gives us more watch time, which is not too bad. So yeah, if you want to be a mod, let us know in the comments down below, or give me a DM on Instagram. That's probably the best way to do it. And then we shall see if we can pick a one or not. So let's have a look at the comments now. Yeah, just thought to come up for a little bit of a chat with you guys. Got any questions whatsoever you want to ask? You can ask away. Oh, update on the Assassin Bugs enclosure, what I've uploaded the video the day at. After this has gone live, there will be a link up here, linking to that. It's doing absolutely amazing. They're all growing phenomenal, feeding like pigs still. They're just doing absolutely amazing. Also, I'm going to do an updated. I'm going to give you an update, should I say, guys, on the rabbits. We've moved into another enclosure now. We're making them an outside pen as well. Well, we've made them an outside pen, so that's going to be something I want to update you guys on. I want to give you the talk about how to look after your rabbits as well and what needs they actually need. So that's been pretty cool as well. I did ask for some questions on social media, and I'm going to answer them now, guys. If you don't follow them social media on Instagram, go to JP's Pet Nation and follow us on there, guys, because that's where our polls go and our first look at everything goes. So some of the questions I got asked was, the first question was, what got me into keeping exotic animals? The truth be told, keeping exotic animals, I've been doing that for quite a long time. I think the first exotic animal I got was a bearded dragon at the age of 10. His name was Spike. He was absolutely amazing. And since then, I've just got into it. Obviously, the older I got, the more experience I've had with exotic animals, the more money I've got, and also the more room I've got. And I end up getting more and more animals, which does that make sense? So the most exotic animal I've ever played with is a crocodile, and that was phenomenal. It was a Nile crocodile, only a small one, it was 6 foot crocodile, and that was phenomenal. And that got my adrenaline going. And obviously, some people race cars or jump out of airplanes for adrenaline, but the way that we get our adrenaline, or should I say, I get my adrenaline, is obviously through playing with exotic animals like crocodiles, feeding sharks, swimming with sharks, playing with venomous snakes, you know what I mean, stuff like that is how we get our adrenaline boost. So that's how I got into the hobby. One of the other questions was, is there an animal I wouldn't keep? The truth be told, there is a lot of several animals I would not keep. Let's go for invets first, for example. One invet I would never keep, and that's got to go to the centipede. The reason that I would never keep a centipede is because, well, there's several reasons. They love to escape. They're very, very, very dangerous, and they are one of the animals which would go out the way to defend themselves and to give you a bite, and also they're really fast as well. I'm not saying that they don't make good pets. I'm just saying it's not a pet for me, and I don't think I'll ever keep one unless I had a massive, massive warehouse to keep them in, like zoo kind of thing. Another animal I would never keep myself is obviously deadly snakes. Having a DWA doesn't mean you can keep tigers and deadly snakes. A DWA, depending on the council you go to, it gives you different permission. You've got to send off for what you want. So if you want primates, I will do a video in the future on the DWA and how it works. It's really complicated here in the UK. It depends on the council as well. So if you was in London or Middlesbrough or Nottingham, for example, there's all different pricing. And some DWAs are only for 1 year, then there is other ones that are for 2 years. It's really, really complicated, and it comes down to the local council what actually organises them. I think in America, it's something to do with the wildlife people. They're the ones who organise like if you keep the crocodile and all that stuff. One thing I would love to do, obviously I've got the room now, is get caimans or Nile crocodiles. That's something I would love to do. But like I say, it's about having the experience first under your belt, and also money, room, and make sure everything's done in a safe way. Safety is the most important thing. You don't want nothing that's going to cause harm to the hobby and it's going to cause people to not want you to do it, or for the government in the UK or the local council to stop you keeping these exotic animals. If you do it in a respectful way, then obviously it's worth doing. Like in America, for example, there's a lot of bans going off at the moment on keeping specific animals. I think the new ban is on tegus, iguanas, pythons, something like that in Florida, or something like that. And that's because people keep letting them go and they don't have backup. So when a hurricane hits or a flood hits, these animals are escaping and they're surviving there and taking over the native animals, which you can understand you don't want that to happen. But obviously, over in the UK, not a lot of animals will live in our climate because we are quite cold most of the time. But we have got invasive species there. So things like raccoons have been banned, chipmunks have been banned over here as well because, like I say, cacahuates, they've been banned as well. These exotic mammals. These have all been banned because people are releasing them or not having a escape-proof enclosure or a backup plan if something does go wrong, and they're getting out, they're affecting our native animals, killing them off, and obviously that's a no-no. So it's our responsibility as keepers to make sure that they're sorted out and to make sure we've got the right setup, enclosure, and the right plan in place while we're keeping these animals. It's not a privilege. It's a privilege, not a must-have to keep these exotic animals. These exotic animals are amazing creatures. If you give them the best setup, then you can do this. But it's people who are doing it wrong. People are keeping them in little boxes, like keeping meerkats, for example, inside, monkeys inside, putting nappies on them, putting clothes on them. This is not how you should keep these animals. These animals need huge enclosures. Same with birds and exotic animals like that. They need big enclosures as well. If you're going to keep these animals, you've got to make sure that these setups are escape-proof, and you've got a plan if they do escape. But also, you've got to keep with maintenance, the costs, the vet bills. One of the most important things, so for our meerkats and our foxes and stuff like that, our vet bill is ridiculously high. We can't get insurance for them because these aren't normal animals. So our Arctic fox, for example, this is a great example. If our Arctic fox broke her leg, for example, Flower, oh God, Flower, then obviously she will have to go to the vets and we'll have to pay a load. I think it's like 4,800 quid we'll have to pay straight up. It's going to be an expensive one. But what we're going to do when we obviously get back to what we're doing, we're going to show you Flower again, give you an update on her. She's about a year old now. Training with her has been absolutely amazing. Like I say, we are going to be covering a video. Is it not Moon? Oh, I'm going to keep talking anyway. But I was going to say, yeah, I'm going to do my very, very best to do that DWA license. That's the one that's going to be coming out next after the top 10 zoos in the UK. That's going to be another one. And also, we've got the Seal Sanctuary next Friday, and Monday's video, which is tomorrow's, will be a tour of Skegness Aquarium. That's going to be pretty cool. Like I say, if this ain't live when you're watching, we're going to link them all up here and stuff like that. That'd be pretty cool. Like I say, if you've got any questions, just ask them away. I want to hear from you beautiful people. So it's nice to chill with you guys, if I'm honest with you. Like I say, I don't normally do live, to be honest, because I find them very awkward, because you've got to keep talking when no one's watching, and it does get a bit awkward. Also, another question what I got asked on Instagram was, is there any reptiles I would not keep? I've just covered that I wouldn't keep venomous snakes because obviously they're too dangerous. And also not just a risk to me, a risk to your kids, to your wife, to your dog, to your auntie, to your uncle, to your friends, whoever comes into that place, there's a massive risk to your neighbour. You know what I mean? So I would never keep them in the UK, even if I had my venomous license. I would never keep them just because it's such a deadly thing. I saw a thing on Facebook the other day, well, about 2 months ago. This woman had a giant Amazon centipede. Holy crap. She let it escape when they gone to her next door neighbour's house and it's running on the next door neighbour's house. How dangerous is that? These are one of the most venomous centipedes in the world. These are huge to get up to a foot long. These are massive creatures. And the fact is she just let it escape and she's not bothered about it. And stuff like that really winds me up because it's going to affect this hobby that we all enjoy. Because people are doing stupid things like that. Same as keeping DWAs without your license. You should never do it. You should only keep DWAs if you've got your license. Same as sales. The only good thing about coming out of Europe at the moment is obviously sales of DWA to the UK from Germany are being cut down because people aren't doing it as much because they have to get Brexit paperwork and all that stuff, which is really good and it's going to help keep this hobby in the UK safe. You don't want to mess it up for other people. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I know what you're saying, buddy. Like I say, knock some questions at me, guys. Because I don't just want to do the Instagram ones. I want to get you guys involved as well. So it doesn't seem like I'm just talking to myself. Another question I was asked: is there anyone I would not collaborate with? Yeah, there's several YouTubers out there I would not collaborate with. People I would collaborate with a heartbeat are people like Tarantula Dan. I absolutely love Tarantula Dan. Tarantula Cave, absolutely amazing man Richard is. People like that who I've started off in hobby, Spider-Man, Alex, Alan even, they're up them three just off the top of my head are absolutely amazing people. They love this hobby that we're in. And you can see from the way they film it. I've met Tarantula Dan or Dan Oakley several times at the shows, and he's such a lovely guy, and he's got a lot of time for everyone, which is what you want. And people like that I will collaborate with, regardless how big I ever got in life. And also with Tarantula Dan, he don't show his subscribers. He's got a load of subscribers. He's been going for years. He's going for about 10 years. And he's got loads of subscribers, but yet he don't show them off. He don't brag about it. He still has a normal job, which is pretty cool. It shows what a down to earth guy he is. People I wouldn't work with, yeah, there is some YouTube I wouldn't work with. People who use animals to get views. So people who like fish, for example, got to fish them all. I would have worked with ever in my life. He's in America. Honestly, I don't want to say too much slander, but he's a horrible person the way he treats animals. If you just watch the iguana one, you'll see what I'm on about. He puts boiling hot water on his iguana. And yeah, there's a lot more to it than that. Insect like, oh man. Ever thought about ant keeping? Hello, Gab, you alright? The insect guy, ever thought about ant keeping? Ant keeping is something I would love to do, but it's just getting to the right ones. Ants aren't as easy as you think. This is the thing. So, for example, a tarantula, you get them in enclosure, you set the humidity up, you set the tank up, perfectly fine. Ants are really complicated. I've looked into keeping different species of ants. Let me put the comment up. 1 minute, guys. There we go. Comment up for you. I've looked into different species of ants to keep. Over in the UK, we can get quite a lot. There was leaf cutting. I forgot the actual species of them. Leaf cutting ants. That's what I looked into, but it's just so hard to get the queen to keep going and to get the brood up and stuff like that. Yeah, you start in a test tube, but it's really, really complicated. But that's something I would love to do. Insect guy, have you ever done ant keeping or anything like that? Is that something you're into? Well, that's something I definitely would look into if I had the room as well. I think it comes down to a lot of room. It'll grab you out, pal. It's to do with room as well, I think. Of course, when the queen goes and she lays her workers, all them workers are going to get bigger and bigger. You need your outworld. It's going to take over the place, which is fine if you've got the room. Great question that was. But there is, like I say, that was one of the YouTubers I went back. There's also, I can't mention their name, but there's a UK YouTuber holding whoever where I don't agree with holding animals. I think being a hoarder is one of the worst things you can do, in my opinion, with animals, regardless of what they are. It could be fish, mammals, insects, inverts, tarantulas, but having more than you can cope with is ridiculous. For a private keeper, in your collection, you have a collection of animals, or you have your pets. So you do your best by them. If you can't provide them all the care they need, then don't do it. I've got loads of species at the moment, all going strong, but a little bit expensive. Hello, True Seeker, you alright? Ah, what you got? Insect guy. That's really cool. Yeah, see, that's the thing that quite expensive. Are you from the UK, then, insect guy? Because I think it's called Ant UK. They normally have some in. And also, if you go around ant breeding season, like maybe you can get like a load of black ants. You can. I forgot what the names are called then. But they're pretty interesting at lands. And I suppose you could always do it outside and release them if they're native anyway, because it would make sense. True Seeker, I'm going to be no, I have not. True Seeker. So yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Actually, I could, but saying that I do want leaf cutters, but I don't think they're available in the UK that much, which makes them really hard to get. I do think they're one of the coolest ants. They can carry pretty much their own body length times 10 or whatever the heck it is in leaves, and do make absolutely amazing nests. Tricross Zoo's actually got a really good one. That's got a really good one up in their bathroom. So you go to their bathroom with Tricross Zoo, they've got a massive leaf cutting ant colony in there with rope and stuff like that, and they look absolutely phenomenal with it. And then if we're going, let's go to the next question. If you haven't got any more questions on you, let's go. What are you on about, True Seeker? No, no, not yet. But like I say, there's so much I'd love to do if I had the land. If you had the room and that, you could keep pretty much anything you want. But there's animals I would never keep. Like I say, I would never keep primates either. I think primates and dolphins and stuff like that whales should never be kept in captivity. They're just too. Oh, Jade's jungle. You're right, Jade. Long time no see. But like I say, it's so important that if you're keeping these animals, like I say, there's so many videos coming out. We're doing the DWA videos going out, but we've got a guy from the council coming down to talk to you about it as well. I've just got to get approval from the council to, what's the word about getting sued? To allow them to express their views on here without it affecting the council who we use. Does that make sense? But the DWA is such a big thing. We're also looking at our the new DWA was coming out with. Actually, we'll tell you that in another video. Actually, but yeah, there's so much more coming out because at the moment it's going to be amazing. Like I say, we just got our giant rabbits as well. They just came in. Yeah, yeah, I know what you're saying. And them giant rabbits, there was two rescues. So we've got Poppy and Laura. There was two rescues. These giant rabbits are huge. I would show you them, but they're outside of my internet. They're absolutely massive rabbits, and it's being kept inside in a 4-foot enclosure. It wasn't even that. It was like a blue. You know, when you get from pets at home, they like that massive blue ones. I think about 4.5 foot, and there was two giant rabbits in there. And these giant rabbits, if you've seen Teletubbies, then you know how big they get. They get like freaking like this, mate. They're massive. Yeah, yeah, I'm the same. I'm the same, Jade. There's not. I always watch yours anyway. I can't lie to you. When I'm doing cleaning, so when I'm always watching yours, I love your rabbits and your guinea pigs. They're my favourite. But like I say, what we're doing, we're going to do a video on how to care for the rabbits as well, like that. Because these giant rabbits, they shouldn't have been kept how they was. Um, I did a bit of research on them, and they are brother and sister as well. But this woman was breeding them because it's 150. It's 150. They are, they are, Jade. It's 150 pound per baby rabbit. So they've been inbreeding it so much that these two they've got now have obviously inbreded. So there's so much going off with them, and we're taking to the vets, and we're always paying for them. But I'm so glad that we end up getting them because it means we can have a better life now. Their enclosure is what, about 12? It's what, 12 foot long by 5 foot wide, something like that, or 4 foot wide. They've got a massive enclosure. They're loving it outside, and when they're not in that, they're running around the garden like lunatics. But we've got so much coming up, and talking about videos, like I say, we are going to reschedule the videos because obviously we've got Amy's going to be coming doing a lot of filming with us. She's going to be filming the fox interaction, what we're going to be doing at Steve's place. So we're going to meet a red fox. I can tell you now, actually, because it's just come out. So basically, Steve Lockwood is a celebrity. He's been on Britain's Got Talent. He's done Netflix. He's one of my close friends. He's just started releasing 12 brand new kid-friendly books about animals, and we're going to go meet the foxes, the meerkats, the raccoons, the raccoon dogs. He also does a lot of rescuing for these animals as well. So he's chosen to move away from Britain's Got Talent. So on Britain's Got Talent, he used to do magic with animals, and now he's moved away from that years and years ago to rescuing them. He's got like 40, 50 animals there, and they've all been rescued. It's absolutely amazing. So we're going to go back over to his house in Newcastle and check him out again. And obviously talk about his new book, what he's been releasing. He's got 12 brand new animal books as well for kids. It's going to be amazing. There, God, a rabbit from the house. This is it. This is exactly what you need. I'll get it up. There you go. That is exactly what you should be doing. Honestly, you should always neuter your rabbits. From a nice breeder who has a neuter voucher, it's usually like 60 quid, and that's just like loppies and all that stuff. It's really bad. Oh, Jade, it's really, really bad. Honestly, I've said this. So what we've done, so the ones we've ever bred in the past, I think about 3 years ago, our loppies, they ended up breeding, and we ended up neutering them, giving them a voucher for neuter. We paid for them at the vet. We didn't give them like the RPCA because that never happens. And we also vaccinated them. Like, your rabbit does need vaccinated as well. People don't understand that. Just don't understand the diet of a rabbit. They need hay in their diet. Hay is a must-have. That's to do with their digestive system and their teeth. If you want them to be ill, then don't give them hay. And that makes up like what, 70%, 80% of their diet. You also need leafy greens, and then just a couple of egg cups full of food per rabbit. You don't overfeed them. Do you know what I mean? Because they will get fat. There's so much more to keeping rabbits down than what people think. Same as with the runs and stuff like that. Obviously, I might do a video on it in the future, to be honest, but the hay is so important. I can't tell you how important it is. How many people don't give their rabbit hay because, it's unbelievable. Hay is the most important for the digestive system. Their teeth keep eroding, so their teeth keep growing all the time. So them munching on that hay and then munching on things, it's going to help with keeping the teeth down. They've only got 4 teeth, so it's important that you keep them down. Also, things like fly strike is something what people don't take into consideration, or overheating in the sun. We've had boiling hot weather here. I say boiling hot, about 23 degrees here all this week. You've got to make sure your rabbits have got enough stuff to keep them cool. You've got to make sure they've got shelter. The 5 feedings are up. And also, you've got to make sure that if they're not drinking out of a bottle, like Corey and Willow won't drink out of a water bottle. They'll only drink out of a bowl on the floor. And that's something you've got to look into as well, because rabbits are very, very lazy. If they're hitting that water bottle and that ball's not moving, they're not getting the water, they're going to stop doing it, and then they're going to die. They're really, really lazy animals when it comes to stuff like that. And also, if your rabbit's not eating and drinking for one day, it's a serious matter. It is, because rabbits' digestion is different to dogs and to ours. There's so much more to it. Absolutely. Saw a TikTok of this rabbit breeder who was climbing. They shouldn't have hay. They shouldn't have what? Well, sorry, Jade. I saw a TikTok of the rabbit breeder who was claiming they shouldn't have hay because pellets and hay based. Oh, yeah. Let's put that on screen. That's. I bet it wasn't in England. See, there's a massive argument at the moment, Jade, about not hay. Yeah, actually, it is hay in Europe. They say that basically don't give them no hay in Europe. They don't need it in the diet. You can get it from the pellets, from the protein in the pellets, and also like the minerals and all that stuff. So shocking. It's really shocking, Jade. And but it's so bad it is, because this hay is so important. And then they're like, how do rabbits survive in the wild? Because they can't eat freshly cut grass. It's because if you look into the science side, it's through the toxins in it. When you cut that grass, it's toxins. Grass is alive. When it gets killed, it's going to let out toxins. It's just logical. It's a plant at the end of the day. And there's so much more to rabbit keeping than you think. And people don't understand that until they get educated. A lot of fights on Facebook. I hate Facebook with a passion about this. I've had discussions with this all the time. People keeping them, like I say, their rabbit doesn't eat hay. That doesn't mean it's not good for them. If you're not giving it to them, you're not offering it to them, then they're not going to want to eat it, are they? It's not normal. Do you know what I mean? The same as when we let them out, we only let them out of the fresh grass and plants and stuff like that. It's to do with enrichment as well, which is important for any animal, especially mammals. If you have good enrichment, there's 5 animal acts you've got to keep up when you're keeping animals, and it's just so important, regardless of what animal you keep, from a fish in there or a mammal. If you keep them 5 freedoms up, then they're going to be perfectly happy. Like we've just, like I say, we do a lot of rescue, but I don't do a lot of film on any of the rescues because, like I say, Flower, the Arctic fox, I don't want you to go out and get fox. I am not going to advertise. Yeah, my views were going bloody rocket sky, but I don't want you to go out and get your fox. She was not looked after. She was close to death. And the only reason we got her is because we physically went and grabbed her, and we would have scrapped them over because he was keeping her like basically to get money. We've neutered her straight away. Yeah, man. Yeah, lettuce and stuff like that. Yeah, but you can't give them bird's eyes and stuff like that. There's so much going off. It's so complicated, and people don't understand how much things are changing over time. And as humans, we're meant to adapt. Same as fish, for example. If you've got a better fish, for example, or a fight fish, or whatever you want to call it, the males can be kept on their own. People in America are keeping them in little tubs like this. They shouldn't have that. If you look at them in the wild, they have a lot. Their territory is quite big. And I think Jade, I think she had. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jade. I think you had quite a big one, didn't you, for your better fish? And I saw some of the comments in there because it was so big. It's like, oh, you can put this as this. I was like, no, these are fighting fish. These are predators. They will attack anything was in there. And I see videos of it all the time because it gets the views of people putting the fish together to fight, and it's just ridiculous. I think, like I say, back to that question, what I said about is there any YouTubers I wouldn't work with? Yeah, there's animal cruelty ones. If you're doing stuff for views, I will not work with you. I will not work with you regardless who you are. For this podcast I've got, for example, I've turned down this American guy who wanted to come on the podcast on season 2. And I turned him down because I saw some of the videos where he was not just live feeding, he was live baiting these animals. So he was feeding his ball pythons, which are quite chunky anyway. So they didn't need live feeding. And I've seen some of his videos, they do take dead. He was doing it for the views. And the mouth turned around and bit it and bit the snake and caused so much trouble. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's all right, Jade. Like I say, oh, thank you, Jade. I appreciate that. Like I said, there's so much still going on, and I want to explore it. I'm using this channel in a different way to what I started off with. I think it's important that we educate people. Like I say, these podcasts, we've got people coming out from all kinds of places. So another person, apart from that guy who spoke about at the start, the puppet guy, he does a lot of education with his animals. He goes around schools for free and educates them. And obviously, when I get back to see Steve, I want you to see what he does. Like I say, he chose to give up fame and fortune to rescue these animals. He turned down Simon Cowell. You can Google it. Google who he is, and you find out who he is. Stephen Lockwood. And he turned down Simon Cowell to give his life to animals because he, without saying too much, he couldn't give these animals what they wanted without if he was famous, basically. It's mad. And these books he's releasing on his Fox, Xenon, I think his name is, are absolutely amazing. I've seen them myself, what he's releasing, and they're freaking amazing. The stories he tells about his animals are truly amazing, mate. And like I say, apart from obviously the filming, but I don't want to tell you too much about that one because I think it's important that when we see Steve, we talk to him about it more because a lot of things are going off behind the scenes at the moment. Like I say, he's such a lovely man, and if you're in Newcastle, book him up if you can, and you can meet his fox and his meerkats and all his animals. I think it's only about 60 quid as well, which is nothing. Just make sure you tell the JP saying, you know. Like I say, we've got so much going off at the moment, guys. I just want to get you guys involved as well. Like I say, the main goals at the moment of this live is obviously we're going to be doing the podcasts. We've got these season 2 coming up. That's going to be pretty cool. We're also going to be doing some specific videos. We've got the top 10 zoos in the UK's video. This is something I've been looking at for about 4 months now, trying to film and write up about, just because what makes a top zoo? Is it the amount of animals they have? Is it the amount of space they have? Or is it what they do for conservation? So Chester Zoo, for example, is the largest zoo in the UK. They've got over 35,000 animals and 750 species. They've also got 110 acres of land, and that's obviously by definition the largest zoos. That is the largest zoo, but the work they do in the wild is quite good as well for conservation work. But they don't do as much for the UK than they do for like tigers. And then things like Edinburgh Zoo, or is it Bristol Zoo, one or the other, they do a lot for the animals over here. So it's I forgot there's one spider in the UK what specifically is under threat, like endangered to extinct nearly in the wild, and they're doing work with that. It's something aquatic spider or something like that, and they're doing so much work. No, it's London's it is. They're doing so much work for that one. They are when they're bringing up the populations and they're releasing into the wild. So they're spending more time in the UK getting them numbers up as well, which is so important because, like I say, every animal counts, and if one animal goes extinct, it's going to be a chain. Because if, for example, flies go extinct, what eats flies is going to go extinct because they're not having it, etc., etc. There's so much more out there, guys, than you think. And as humans, we are responsible for quite a lot of this, and we are quite selfish people. I'm a hypocrite, yeah, if you want to say that. I keep animals myself, like tarantulas, for example. Some of the rarest tarantulas out there, you can get in the hobby. People are always Ascalots, for example. Ascalots in the wild in Mexico, they're crucially endangered to extinct there. But in captivity, there's thousands and thousands, from pearls to wild caught to albinos to one other one. I can't remember the species. And we're doing that to ourselves. We're not keeping them to the point where we're going to breed them, release them into the wild. We're keeping them for our selfish needs to make money, and it's bad. We are quite selfish. We are quite selfish, aren't we? As humans are. But like I say, we are planning to go back to doing a Monday and Friday videos, guys. That's our main goal as well. Just just like the mosquitoes. Yeah, I mean, it's true. If mosquitoes went extinct, everyone hates them. Then the animals are eating mosquitoes, like the bats and stuff like that. That's going to affect their food chain, and it's going to affect more. Same as flies. If flies went extinct, there's going to be more poo in there. There's going to be more poo. It's going to cause more pollution. Do you know what I mean? Because flies eat the poo. Same as bees. If bees went extinct, you won't be able to pollinate a lot of plants as well like that. There's so much more. These little creatures affect the big creatures. Just look at the dinosaurs, for example, how they lived for millions of years until humans came. Then they end up hunting them to extinction, some animals, and then obviously they got wiped out by the meteor. But like I say, humans are very selfish. We always want what we can't have. If you look at it, it really is the insect guy. It really is. If we can prevent, I was speaking to, it's going to be up in a couple, I'm sorry, spoiler, but I was speaking to an upcoming video at a zoo I was filming at. I spent a couple of days around the area with them, and they said exactly the same thing, that some animals we can't keep in this zoo. So I don't want to spoil too much, but they can't keep they don't keep sea lions, Californian sea lions, in their zoo because they're not endangered, critically endangered, or going extinct. So they leave them alone. But yet there is a lot of things going on with them. Does that make sense? So they only have these animals in these zoos because they're going extinct or they're under threat. Does that make sense? So the animals who are under threat don't get any treatment. And they said it's really bad. It's because if you're in the UK, you have, I forgot what the list is called. There's a list for like animals, exotic animals, what zoos have got to apply for. Like the rarest animal at the moment on the zoo list itself, what all zoos are wanting are giant pandas and sloths. I think it's the three-toed sloths. They're the two rarest animals on this whole list, and you can't just get them like you want them. Like, we can go onto the website, there's several websites we get exotic mammals from, it's true, but they can't just go and get them. So there's one zoo I was particularly working with where they got one three-toed sloth for 3 years. They had this male, and to get that female, they have to prove that they can provide the care for both of them without having the risk of death. Because when this one dies, if the male dies from neglection or not the right care, not the right diet, then that's going to affect the whole breeding program. It's really complicated. Same as tigers. I went to a tiger place 2 years ago. They had 11 Bengal tigers there, 11, and these are critically endangered animals. And they can't breed these because of all the inbreeding. And because these animals are from the circus, they've been bred into each other over generations. So the bloodline's bad, the genes are bad. So these 11 lions can't breed. They cannot breed. They cannot you cannot put that blood anywhere because it's just not worth it. It's going to cause so much more problems than it is, and that's down to humans. There's so much more to it than you think when you breed these animals, and in these zoos, there's so much more to it than this. And I think that, yeah, it is our responsibility, as it. Like I say, I'm going to see if I can speak to my mate who's a zookeeper. He works with some of the big cats in one of the biggest zoos in the UK. And I was speaking to him a couple of days ago about it. And he said, yeah, to breed animals. So if he wanted to breed his male, for example, his male lion, for example, he's got to go through a whole list and see how many he's bred off. So if he's bred over like 50 and they've been sent over to the European and international breeding program, then he won't be able to breed that male no more. He's got to retire that male, because obviously you don't want too much of his bloodline around, because that affects all the rest of the genes, and then it starts inbreeding coming down the thing. It really is quite complicated. Yorkshire Wildlife Park is one of the better conservations if you're looking at things like polar bears and stuff like that. They've got one of the biggest polar bears breeding programs at the moment available. It's just absolutely, it's massive. They've got like, I think they've got like 3 males and several females there, and they are the only one in the UK that are breeding polar bears. But their work is absolutely phenomenal. I've seen it up close and personal, and they are dedicated to these animals. These animals got acres and acres and acres of land to run around, to roam around, to act how they want to act, because it is important that we prevent these from going extinct. Have you got any other questions, guys, you want to ask me? I've just covered that one. Also, if you're in the UK, I don't know if any of you are from Scotland, guys, but there is a Scottish wildcat which is going extinct at the moment over the past 4 or 5 years due to, it is amazing insect life, due to domestic cats breeding with the wildcat. I haven't got no photos. Because the domestic cat and the Scottish wildcat are so similar, when they breed, they make a hybrid, I suppose. But because they're doing that, they're affecting on the bloodline. So the Scottish wildcats are going extinct from it. And that's down to us being selfish again, because we're letting our cats run around wherever we want. There is, like I say, if we act better ourselves, we would prevent having to have animals in zoos. No one wants animals in zoos. Yeah, Moon, that's true as well, yeah. And the same as pandas, a great example. Like I say, this ain't slandering nothing, this is just a fact. The facts are facts, and isn't it? Edinburgh Zoo are the only zoo in the UK that's got giant pandas. I think it was last year or 2019-18, I'm not sure, they actually got stopped from doing their breeding program because they wasn't keeping them right. So because they couldn't offer them the right care and the right way to breed, if that makes sense, without going slandering, because everyone's a sue, then they obviously got stopped from doing it. The zoo people, whoever runs the zoo licensing and breeding programs for the pandas, they said, look, Edinburgh Zoo, you can't do it because the conditions aren't right. That's a great one, Jade. That's a great one. This is a great one, Jade. This is actually this is another point I want to be touching on as well. Let's just wait for it to come up on screen. There we go. I find it interesting that the flagship species such as pandas, etc., the public love them to the main focus, but some inverts are endangered, which we just covered about them spiders, and people just don't care. Do you know what that is, Jade? And the truth be told is because tigers are cute. Tigers, pandas, polar bears, elephants, they will sell. They will sell. WWF can put them on a t-shirt, they can sell. People are scared of things they don't understand, like tarantulas, spiders, snakes. Snakes are a good one as well. People are scared of things they don't understand, and if you don't understand it, they're not going to give you money. So they use the cute animals and animals what are going to bring people into you, and that is a valid point. That is, yeah. And there's so many bugs. Honestly, there's so many bugs and inverts. If they went extinct, if you could look at the food line of them, you'd see. I will cover a video on this. I've been filming a couple of things in the UK at the moment. So I've been filming the adders, the smooth snake, the lizards, and all that stuff at the moment. Yeah, that's a great point, and that is true. If you did not have these spiders, you'd be run over by bugs. Look at Africa, for example. Africa is a great example. They had a flood of locusts there, and like I say, what's going to eat them? Birds, inverts, tarantulas, stuff like that. If you look at Australia at the moment, last week they've had a flood of rodents there, and obviously Australia's got some of the most venomous snakes in the world. And obviously, without their snakes, then other mammals and birds that are eating them, then you're going to be flooded over, right? And like I say, rodents do breed quite a lot. They breed all the time, and they're never going to stop, are they? And they can give birth. I think rabbits. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jade. But I think rabbits are 4, 8, 12. Things like 16 weeks or something like that. They can drop the first babies, something like that. Females can, and 18 weeks for a male, or it might be the other way around. So that's quite a long time. And rabbits can live for 10 years with the best care. Like I said, I've never lost a rabbit to a fox. I've never had a rabbit get fly struck or anything like that, because you prevent it before they get it. If you have the sprays on hand, you have the enclosure set up properly, you're not going to have no problem. See you later in the. Oh, that's nice. Man. Like I say, there's so much going off at the moment. If you can prevent these from going extinct, then you're gonna get. It's going to be a lot better for you guys. Other question that I obviously got asked on Instagram was, is there any animals I would never interact with on experience? So things like tigers, crocodiles, elephants, etc. No, I don't think there is. I think I would always give it my best. Upcoming video, this won't be out until the end of this year. Like I say, we swam with freaking sharks. That was absolutely scary. And I pooed my pants. These sharks were massive. There's only black tips, but these are absolutely phenomenal creatures. And we've got up close and personal with them. Obviously, I felt sorry for Amy, who was filming, one of our camera ladies. She was so good. She was. And of course, we couldn't use the phone on the normal camera we normally used, but to use some waterproof ones. It's taken a bit more editing to do. Yeah, that's so true. It's so true, Jade. Honestly, there's so much going on. Humans are just, regardless of what you believe or if you do not believe in stuff, things are going wrong all the time. And it's our responsibility to prevent it. We are the smartest things on earth, apparently so. So why can't we prevent all these things from going wrong? But the Australian fire, for example, that wiped out over 300,000 animals plus, and that's only no. Let me say that again. That's 300,000 mammals, birds, reptiles. That's not inverts or anything like that. That was the main categories. That's quite a lot. They nearly wiped out the whole of Australians' southern koalas as well, because obviously there's two different species of koalas in Australia, and Edinburgh Zoo has got one species, and that might be the Queensland's, I think, and Bristol Zoo's got the South Australian ones, something like that. Two different species, well, genus into that species. And yeah, like I say, we've got to do our best to prevent it. Like I said, it's so important. This is why I think it's important that you vaccinate all your animals. If you can vaccinate your cat, your dog, your rabbit, whatever you've got, because if they get bit by a tick and paralyze them, ticks are one of the horriblest creatures out there. They can paralyze any animal. You see them if you just Google it, Facebook it, they can paralyze massive animals. They can. Never mind a little Jack Russell or a little Lopsy, or you know what I mean. That's the one, Ben. The Queens. That's the one. Yeah. But they're doing a lot of work as well with them. You can pay for experience if you really want to. It's like 400 quid. But they're doing a lot of work getting them back up. If you look at the work that they're doing, um, they're quite hands on with all of that. Same as one of my favourite places in the world is obviously Crocodile Land. We went up there 2 weeks ago. We did some filming up there. That was amazing. We've got so much coming out, guys. Just having the time to release all. I'm honest with you. But like I say, it's going to be Monday and Friday, 2 p.m. UK time. Hopefully, all being well. Weekly from now on, if we can get it all edited and sorted out. Obviously, Amy's helping with the editing and filming it as well. She's been absolutely amazing. Obviously, she just had a baby as well, so she's trying to do both things at one go. Yeah, great one. People, yep, it's so true. People who don't like invets, just ask them if they like roaches. Tell them what, yeah, it's so true. It's so true. Honestly, it's about keeping the animals going. It's like I say, we need to do more to prevent things from going extinct. That is important, very, very important. We can act beforehand. Yes, please. If we can act beforehand, then we can prevent it. And this is what these upcoming videos are going to be about. Like I say, these top 10 zoos, what we're doing, this list. So true, Ben. Like this top 10 zoos, we looked at all the zoos. We didn't just look at the top biggest zoos. Like I say, Chester Zoo's got over 35,000 animals, and they've got 750 species of animals, or something like that. That doesn't make them the best zoo in the world. It's the work they do for the conservation and all that stuff. There's so much going off behind them scenes. And Crocodile the World is one of the best ones out there. Great example of how, I don't know if it's like this in America, but over here in the UK, you don't just get any animals in these zoos. You can't just get your DWA and hope for the best kind of thing. They've just got a saltwater crocodile. I think it's a male saltwater crocodile they've got there. And obviously they're still on the lookout for a female. And it's took them years and years and years to get this saltwater crocodile. And they want to obviously breed them to release them back into the wild or get them going into the captivity side of it to keep them going. Same as Komodo dragons and stuff like that. Komodo dragons are the largest venomous lizard in the world. And they are absolutely amazing. They're absolutely amazing little creatures. And like I say, in 2013, Australian scientists was the ones who found out there are two venom glands here, because before 2013, they thought that the Komodo dragon's saliva was just the bacteria that was eating away at you. So when it bit you, obviously it stopped blood clot and all that stuff. And then obviously in 2013, they found out that they actually did have two venom glands at the back of the throat. Unlike a venomous snake, what sprites and injects through the venom, through the fangs, these will press down on there, which starts the venom coming in the mouth. And then when they bite, they obviously put the venom into you that way. They really are fascinating little creatures. And yes, Komodo dragons will go around and hunt humans. They will go after humans. Like I say, humans are only mammals at the end of the day. And if an animal can eat you, they will eat you. Yes, crocodiles will eat you. If you're at the side of the water messing around in the water, they're going to take it because they don't discriminate against animals, against humans or animals. Unlike humans, we discriminate against animals quite a lot. We go out of our way to cause harm and suffering to them by going hunting, killing them for the fun of it. We do it for sports. I speak to a guy in America, someone I'm quite close to actually. He does a lot of hunting, but he doesn't hunt for fun. He hunts deer to eat them. He uses pretty much everything apart from that, obviously organs and stuff like that. It's not crazy, but he eats it. He uses the fur and skin as clothing and stuff like that. He's pretty well, he looks after himself on it, but that's fine because you're using the whole animal. It's just people that do it for the fun of it, just for a photo. You see lions and tigers and elephants being shot for the fun of it, which ain't really fair. People killing them elephants just for the tusk, what are worth a lot of dosh on the Chinese black market. Yeah, true, Ben. Like I say, got any more questions, let us know, and I'll do my best to answer them. I ain't going to answer nothing too crazy because we are nearly up to time. I only wanted to come on for an hour, but I will stop and have a bit more of a chat with you guys. If that's something you want to do, I don't mind. I'm enjoying this little chat with you. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. Oh, hang on, Jade. I'm just reading your comment, Jade. Interesting one. That's a valid point. But and then to have when I went to university and did our veterinary degree, it's the same thing. We had a debate about this. Is it because I did my veterinary degree and my university degree? See, that's completely different. Yeah, I agree with that. But there's difference. Like in the UK at the moment, and I don't know how it works in Europe, but we can't use animals in circuses, um, uh, freak shows, or whatever you want to call them. But Germany, in Germany, you can still use these animals. So I was watching Ross Kemp's, there's lots of Tiger King, Ross Kemp's UK Tiger King or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. And a guy from the UK actually moved over to Germany just so he can keep his tiger and keep doing the circuit and keep in the team, which is really bad. If we did not have, just playing devil advocate now, Jay, if we didn't have animals in captivity, would animals just go extinct? There is animals in zoos and being bred in captivity what are extinct in the wild, but they're not extinct in captivity. Does that make sense? But saying that if we could prevent them from being hunted and their land going, if we could dedicate the rainforest to them, for example, then we wouldn't have to have them in zoos and we wouldn't have to keep them as well. It's true. We do a lot of zoos. The truth is, a lot of zoos do want animals what are going to bring clients in. My mate was saying when I was speaking to him, he says a lot of zoos want elephants because everyone loves elephants. They want rhinos, they want lions and tigers. Lions are one of the main goals, and they also want African hunting dogs because they're quite active in the daytime. Like I say, as humans, we are quite selfish. If they've got these animals in, they can charge more at these zoos for people to come. Does that make sense? It's business as well as pleasure. If you've got the only animal in the UK, like Edinburgh Zoo, they've got they've got obviously the giant pandas, and they're the only zoo in the UK that's got them pandas in. So people are going to go up there and do it. They're going to go all the way to Scotland and pay that money to go and see it. And they're going to probably pay for experience with them, stuff like that. Like if you want a red panda experience where you get to feed them, spend half an hour with the keeper and half an hour with them. At Bristol Zoo, it's 243 pounds, something like that. So yeah, it is about money. Put this on screen so I can just read it, guys. Sorry. I'm watching it on TV behind me to make sure it's all up properly. And that is true, Jade. Yeah, there is a lot of issues the way that we do stuff. We say, oh no, yeah, there's definitely huge issues with captivity. It's not as simple as keeping them and breeding them to save them. Yeah, negative. Yeah, exactly. That's so true. And to point out what Jade just said, it's not as easy as just we're going to breed them, we're going to release them, we're going to do this and this. It's not because, like I say, even zoos aren't allowed to breed specific animals. So when they get these animals, they go on a massive list. Yeah, zoos cannot sell or buy any animals. They cannot take them from private breeders. And this same aquarium. So if I've got uh, a raccoon, I can't give that to Chester Zoo. They cannot take these animals in as rescues or buy them from us or have them as a donation. They're not allowed. It's got to be from this specific list. I forgot what the list is called, but it's got to be from there. And these animals have got to be monitored at all times. So if that tiger breeds with 4 females, you've got to find out where them 4 females are going for like the genes and all that stuff. So you can't overbreed that male. When he's bred a specific amount of time, you've got to get rid of his bloodline after that, and you've got to stop him from breeding. And people don't understand that. They think you can just breed as much as you want. This is the thing in America where you see people like Tiger King. If you watch Tiger King and you look into it properly, apart from all the crap they were making it out to be, yes, he was a lunatic, he was. But if you look at some of them deforms and all that stuff, that's from overbreeding and generational inbreeding. So it's not from specific sister to brother or dad to son, dad to daughter inbreeding. It's from the gene of inbreeding. So you had them two smaller tigers, them like cupcake tigers, what people are wanting. That's from genus inbreeding. So it's not from. Does that make sense? It's from the genes being bad. So the runt to the runt and all that sort of goes down. It really is more to it than you think, and it's so interesting when you get into the science side of it. Like I say, it's not just as for people like we say we are quite selfish. The Tiger King, if you love him or hate him, his business was to give you what he wanted. He wanted lions. He made tigons as well. He mixed tigers with lions, and in the wild, it would never happen. It would never happen because they come from different areas. And as humans, we are selfish. We wanted a tiger and a lion to mix them together. They've done it with several animals they have as well in the past. And of course, they wanted it. We've done it, and we're such a selfish act, and there's no need to do it. Common hybrids, like there's a couple of snakes in the wild what will hybrid themselves. So it's 2 species will go to each other. There's a venomous snake, and it's a bush viper, and I can't remember what it was. It's a bush viper and another animal. Might be a rat snake or something. I can't remember. They would actually breed with each other and make their own hybrid. Oh, ah, And to go off what Jay just said, that is a valid point. So if you keep an African pygmy hedgehogs, for example, this is exactly the same problem you have with African pygmy hedgehogs, with things with um, the white people want the white ones because they're the cutest and whatever you say. Yeah, yeah, you really are. It's so true. The yeah, it is, man. Breeding for the money. It is all about money. But people throw money. Honestly, people see money. If they're offering you 30 grand or $30,000 for a tiger for them just to breed themselves, you're going to say yes, aren't you? People do it with dogs all the time in the UK as well, especially in the UK. How much was my dog? My dog was 2.5 grand. I'll be truthful with you, 2.5 grand it was. And you know, they have 12. They have what? Say they have 6 puppies at 2.5 grand. Work out. That's a house there. People can put a deposit down for a house. The white tiger gene is linked to the option there, so that they can cross-eyed in the same degree as Orphan, but they are cute is what people want to see. That is so true, and this is why, yeah, that is very true, and also with the white tigers as well. It's a genetic failure as well, isn't it? It's really, yeah. It's just we do want what we want, and I think that's the sad part about it. Like, should exotic mammals be pets? No. Should foxes be pets? Should meerkats be pets? No. Are the pets? Yeah. And will they ever get? Will they ever go stop being pets? No, because they're not endangered. If they was endangered, they'll do their best to stop them from being bred. And the only reason you stop an animal in the UK, like raccoons, for example, cacahuates, and chipmunks, the only reason they've been stopped being kept in the UK is because they're an invasive species. People are releasing them and letting them out of their enclosures, not making sure the enclosure is set up properly or making sure the enclosure is safe. Then they're getting out, they're affecting the environment, and then that's causing more of a bigger issue. That's why these animals have been stopped, not because how dangerous they are, just because of how they affect the ecosystem in the UK. Raccoon dogs are huge. They are I don't like the word aggressive, so they're very defensive. They can cause some serious harm. Same as skunks, they can cause some serious harm. These animals are made to bite through bones. They're omnivores, they are made to bite through bones, and they cause harm. But us humans, we don't care. We want whatever we can want, and we'll try our best to tame it down. If you went with my meerkats, they'd rip you to pieces, mate. They're horrible. Do you know what I mean? People love them, and how people try and break into our land to play with them. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous, some of the stuff what you see from people. It's madness. And same as like my mate, he keeps a lot of exotic animals. He's got crocodiles and stuff like that. He's got a venomous room as well. He's been doing it for 25 years maybe. And he says he's had people trying to break into his king cobra enclosures to hold it. This is the largest venomous snake in the world. What can do some serious harm? Not the most venomous snake in the world, but it's it's the largest venomous snake in the world, and it will do some serious harm to you guys. And people are trying to get into it because they want to, or they'll try and get into the just going for a walk to try and get into the other enclosures because they want to touch them. He's got Nile crocodiles there as well, and he said people are trying to break into there all the time. It's ridiculous, and he's got 5 laws and regulations under the trading standards, not trading standards, under the DWA. He's got to have like 2 6-foot walls, something like that, to make sure no one can get into them. And people are climbing over these and doing their best to get into some madness. And then if you want to go about breeding because we're selfish, things like the spider gene in poor python, that's really bad, that is, because it's been proven that it gives them oh well, let me argue this one. This is valid. Mm-hmm. Jade, I've read this as well. Let me put my discussion over this. I've had this argument with them so many times, Jade. So the RSPCA are working on a campaign to stop people from keeping exotic pets, yeah? Fair dues. The RSPCA are the wrong people who should be doing this. The RSPCA have got no clue what they're doing. They don't even know what they're doing with dogs and cats and rabbits. That's the truth. That is the truth. If you want to prevent things from going wrong, to make sure that exotic animals are being kept better, you need people who know what they're doing. You need people from zoos. You need people who, scientists and people who have been in the studies to campaign to do this. You cannot stop people from keeping animals. You're never going to do it. It's just no. Same as the government wants to stop you from smoking, they put all the money up higher and higher and higher. Do you know what I mean? It's never going to happen. The only way it will stop is if we want it to stop. And also, since we came out of Brexit, it's going to be hard to get exotic animals in because you've got to literally import from Europe now. Beforehand, I'll be honest with you, DWA animals can come in quite easily from Germany because the license over there is really different. You can keep pretty much anything you want. Any scorpion, spider, venomous snakes without DWA because they have no license over there. But since Brexit came in, it's been a lot more better for us because it means it's going to be harder to get. Now we've got to import from Europe, from Africa, America, or wherever we're importing from. So it's going to stop all these dodgy deals from coming in, which is going to be a lot more better. Also, on the flip side, it's going to affect the exotic mammal market as well because we can't get raccoons in, we can't get raccoon dogs in, we can't get skunks in because the truth is a lot of the UK bred stuff, or well, the UK sold exotic animals are from Europe because some of the biggest breeders are in Germany. So when you go to Ham, just go over there and do that. Does that make sense? But yeah, animals like the pygmy hedgehog, that's the bad point about the pygmy hedgehog. But like you say, Jade, the pygmy hedgehog, obviously, a lot of them people on there are crazy. And also, it's bred from two different species of animals. And they don't actually exist in the wild. So why would you release them back to wild? This is what it's from a two-toe. It's a two-toe hedgehog, and there's another one. I forgot the species name. But yeah, it's bred between two species, and it was I can't remember if it was human made or yeah, it probably was human made, or was it mistakenly made? But yeah, they can't be released back in the wild. I used to have 4 African pygmy hedgehogs, and a lot of problems they have, they are cute, but a lot of problems they have, they only make it to years 5. They get things like wobble disease and stuff like that when they start wobbling, because then that happens with the albinos more than anything else, because it's to do with the genus and all that stuff. The genes are so weak from people wanting to pure white hedgehogs to pure black, or well, pure brown hedgehogs. They've been inbred so much, then they've bred this gene in with the wobble disease and stuff like that. That's the one. That's the one, Jay. That is the one. And that's the one that's been bred with you. But because they've been, it really is, man. It is always about supply and demand. And I think that's going to be the biggest problem here, if I'm honest with you. If people keep buying any animal, including fish and the people, I go to Petco, I go to Pets at Home to rescue animals. So you rescue that animal, you buy that better fish, you buy them fish, you buy that rabbit, you buy all that stuff, and then they'll supply more in because they're selling. That's just the truth. So yeah, so you're causing more of an issue than you are helping because you think, oh, I'll rescue it, but in reality, you're not rescuing them. If you want them to stop bringing them animals in, the truth is, I know it's going to sound horrible, then you need to not buy them from them people because you buying them is making a sale, which is making them get more in. But I don't think we'll ever. I don't think we'll ever stop until. I think keeping us animals in the UK, so we're on about we're not about inverts and all that stuff. We're not legit exotic animals, meerkats. The mammals more side of it, probably. Fruit bats, you can still keep fruit bats in the UK without a license as well. This DWA is a load of crap, I'm honest with you. You can keep fruit bats in the UK without a license. And it's madness, mate. And basically, any animal you can keep. I looked, like I said, we're doing a video on the DWA and all that. So it's probably going to trigger a lot of people because people love to argue and cry about stuff. But yeah, you keep pretty much a lot of animals without DWA. It's really complicated. There's some cats. So tigers, lions, you know, like the big cat. There's some big cats you can keep without DWA as well. They're called F1s or F2s. They don't need a DWA for them. So that's things like the Bengal, I think it's the Bengal cat. Don't quote me on that. I think it's like the Bengal cat, something like that. You can keep it without a license. It's mad. This is a wild African cat, which has been bred with a domestic cat, and that's how they made a new species, like whatever it is. And that's how they got around keeping it. It's not the list. There's so much more to it than you think, and it's unbelievable how we as humans we change things up. The more that they give us to do, we always adapt it. So if they say you can't keep this animal in, we'll just breed it together and you can keep it. Joey Exotics from Thai Kings is a great example. Um, if you watch the show properly, did a bit of research into it, he was allowed to keep specific animals, so that's why he started breeding the tiger and the lion together. And then when it said you can't keep a lion or a tiger or whatever, he bred them the other way around, and that's the loophole for all the holes. It's really is quite complicated. Sorry about that. It's really is quite complicated because, like I say, we spend most of our time able to understand the complex needs of some animals like being cat, give them a good bath. Also amazing, I think, getting people to care about conservation. That's true, but people will. That is very true, Jade, what you just said about the meerkats, obviously using them for conservation and all that stuff. But the truth is, they are a wild animal. I'm a hypocrite. I keep them. You know what I mean? My boys, my mob of six out there, they came to me because there's from a person, basically, a breeding company. It's how to put it, it's a puppy farm for meerkats. And the reason that we end up with them was because they was going to be killed. They was going to be killed because males aren't worth no money, so they're just going to release them and let them die. Females are worth money. They're worth £1,300 each, and obviously each female can give birth to 2 or whatever pups at a time, and that's the money side of it. So it really is a money thing. But meerkats aren't as nice as you think. If you can't tame a meerkat down, they scream, they hissy fit, they go absolutely berserk. They can bite your finger off. I've had bites for mine. Let me show you there. I've had my fingernail a bit off by the meerkat. See that massive scar there? And that was a so-called tame one as well. Do you know what I mean? But I think the educational side is important. Yeah, and that is it. The education side is important. And things like the meerkat advert, like you said, the meerkat advert, you see them all cute and fluffy, or TikToks, people making them laugh. Then this is rarer. Of course, they're not. They are wild animals, and their instinct is to fight or fly. US pack cigarettes cost over 20. Whoa! The USA, YouTube, I'm reading a comment, calm down, do not demonetize me again. Look into the UK, USA, and pack of smokes. I'm watching YouTube. I didn't say the word. Cost over $25, and people still. That's mad. And is that to do with the tax? Is it? Yeah, they've done that over here as well to try and stop you from smoking. They charge you more money there for it. It's mad money it is. But there's so much more to it. If you can use, yeah, like Jay just said, if you can use animals to educate people in a safe way to do it. So when people come round, before coronavirus, we were doing some private tours, but this was for schools and stuff like that. So what we was doing was letting them come in, have hands-on with our fox. Our fox is, like I say, Flower. She is very, very, very tame. I've had her from a pup, wrong word, not pup, but from a baby, and she was amazing. And she is amazing with everyone. She's better than a dog. And because we were letting them have hands-on with them, a lot of them have obviously had that experience, which is going to help them to learn about it. Same with some of the meerkats. I didn't let them have hands on the meerkats. We allowed them to feed them to get up close and personal to a safe point. And also, we found out from doing that, they went home and told their dads about it, and then they obviously wanted to book us for shows. Went up to London to do one of the shows, and we found out that a lot of them are fox hunters. I didn't know this at the time, and I found that out when I was there, and I made them fox hunters hold Flower, and it changed their mind the way they saw it. Flower changed their minds because they're not seeing a vermin fox running around with scabies or whatever the heck it's got. Seeing this fluffy, beautiful animal in their arms, what looks at them, and that changed the way that they see it. And that's the thing, and I think that's how we're going to do it. If we want to change the world, I suppose, if you want to say that, if you want to change the way that the generation are going to do it, then you've got to try your best to educate them from a young age, so they pass on to their generation. Do you know what I mean? It's quite hard. It's quite difficult to do if you didn't. You know what I mean? You've got to do it in a safe way, and I think that's why some zoos are quite good at it because they will educate you, they will teach you, but some places aren't. If that makes sense. If you've got any more questions, guys, let me know in the comments. Like I said, I'm going to have this there for a bit longer as well, guys, to see how much battery I've got. I'm happy to stay on to have a bit of a chat with you guys. I love having a chat with you. Sorry about that. Let me have a look at the comments. Banners. Sorry, that's a lovely stuff. That was similar people holding it. They saw a scorpion on me and like, ooh, I hate this. Like, yeah, all my life I killed them once. Yeah, great example. Same scorpions. Yeah. So when I was at college in 2012, I did animal care. We did the exact same thing. We went round with the student service people, so the people who want to be in the army, police force, ambulance service. I took them around the animal place and I pulled out a tarantula. This before I ended up getting loads of tarantulas myself. This was like back in the day. And I pulled out a tarantula, and everyone was like, oh my God, it's a tarantula. And then when they held it, they understood more about it, and it's about educating them. And after that, people, like I say, it changed the way they saw them animals. Of course, when you see them up close and personal, you see someone with them in your hand, not giving a crap, like, oh, and they're like, oh my God, it's a massive tarantula. And you're just like, yeah, cool. They get an understanding of it. Like I say, it's all about educating them the right way. But I think you can do it. I think you can educate them the right way if if they want to be educated. I don't think everyone wants to be educated. That's the problem, though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? What scorpion was it, Jade? Well, like I say, there is a lot of zoos out there or aquariums. Like I say, there's some aquariums where there were a great example in the UK. We don't keep dolphins, whales, whatever they call seagongs, whatever they call. We don't keep them in the UK because obviously back in the day, I think it was in the 2000s that there's a massive problem about SeaWorld and all that, keeping these animals in captivity. Well, if you go to Spain, which is only about 3 hours away, you can swim with dolphins again. It's a different experience. Do you know what I mean? These in forests are the ones. Yes, so true, Jade. It's so true. But I think if we want to educate people, you've got to start from the bottom. Everyone's got to try the best. People like Princess Sophie Pink, people like that, they're at a young age. If you can get everyone into the animals like she is, then you've got a better future for every animal out there. And like I say, big, small, cute, or ugly, a bug or a mammal or an elephant or whatever, then you want to keep them all going because, like I say, it's all about the eco. If you look at people like Steve Irwin, they dedicated their whole life to making sure crocodiles are in the spotlight in a positive way. He was as crazy as a box of frogs, but he would do it in an entertaining way where everyone would have to watch. Then he would educate you on these animals. And that's the most important things. Crocodiles are not just a killer. Yeah, that looks cool. I'm not so killer. If you look at a crocodile's head or an alligator's head, you see all these little bumps and lumps over them, the little sensitories. So they've got it all over the body, and they can sense everything. They're absolutely a fascinating creature. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean. If you've got any more questions, guys, let us know in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. If not, I'm just gonna I've looked down here at my phone again and see if I've got any more Instagram ones. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, another Instagram one even. Um, I've ever been stung, bit, or attacked. Well, I hate that word. Or attacked by a animal. I've never been attacked by an animal. No, I've been bit before. Yeah, the worst animal I've ever been bit was probably by a meerkat or a dog. Um, been bit by a rabbit, I suppose. 1 minute, Sean. I'll answer that in 2 seconds, Sean. Just give me 2 seconds, mate, and I'll answer that. But I think it's yeah, the worst bite I've ever probably took was a meerkat. That freaking or a skunk on my foot. I've got a massive scar about that big on my foot where a skunk bit my foot because she's been a moody cow she was, and she didn't want to go into an enclosure. I've never been attacked by animals, so to speak, unless you want to say a wasp attacked me because it did, and it stung me right here on my head here, that bloody air. And that's about it. I don't think I've had any bad experience, to be honest with you. The worst injury I've ever had from an animal was my own fault. Is when I was playing with some of the bigger crocodiles, I suppose, about 4 years ago when I was filming, and was measuring a crocodile in I think it was in Florida. Oh no, I can't remember where it was. It was in America there it was. And there was like you got to hold its tail really hard and still. I didn't understand how strong these freaking creatures are. I was going to knock you over. It's only about 7, 8 foot, and it swung its tail. Freaking nearly broke my ribs. It was horrible. It was so bad it was. But I enjoyed it. It's all fun and games, isn't it? And that was my fault. It wasn't the crocodile's fault. It was my fault. Yes, so true. Robert's is good. And I think that's the thing, Jay, as well. Sean, I'm just using a tripod and a light and a little camera to film this on me. You can also film on your phone if you want, or a laptop, or whatever you want to use. It is funny, Jade, and I think that's the thing. This is why cute animals sell, I guess. And I suppose going back to the advert of exotic animals, if you look at exotic animals, for example, things like meerkats do sell the insurance. People want to have a cute meerkat. People don't want a cute spider because no such thing as a cute spider. People think. But obviously, I don't talk about my private life on YouTube a lot, but I have obviously got a kid, and my kid is very hands-on with a lot of my animals. And I always educate my kid to make sure that my kid understands how to look after them. How oh, do you have the lower fare? What's up? Like my kids, he gets educated on every single animal I have here. Obviously, he's always under supervision when he's dealing with the animals. Like he understands what diet they need, what requirements they need, how to handle some of these animals, from handling the meerkats or the fox or the bunnies or the dog or whatever he wants to handle, to what care they need and how to look out for stress on them. So for the rabbits, obviously, because they're a prey animal, the hardest to obviously show fear and all that stuff. So you look at the ears, you look at the body language, etc., etc. But obviously, dogs are more vocal. Yeah, it does, mate. It does, Sean. StreamYard does it all for you, mate. So if you go to streamyard.com, put your email address in, it'll sign you up. And then before you go live, it's so important. Before you go live, there'll be a bit at the top. If you're on your phone, tablet, uh, computer, there'll be a bit at the top, and right hand side, you click that. Before you go live, put it on private on YouTube, and then you can have a little play around, set it all up, then boom, push it out, and I'll have all these little banners and stuff for you. You can also add games, branding, and content. So things like you can brand it differently as well. So you want to go to blue, you go to blue, you go to different brandings as well, like that. And if you pay, and there is a, try and get that back to normal now, and there is a paid service as well, which is well worth it, which I've downloaded up for my podcast as well. So it's well worth doing it as. I've got any more questions, guys? It'd be really good to hear from you guys because I'm only going to give it another half an hour or so. And then I'm going to have to go and get some bits and bobs done. I've got to go and feed the animals, clean them out because I love cleaning. And yeah, get the work done. Oh, it's a pain in the arse doing all this work, but I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it. And also today it's photo day, so follow us on Instagram at JP's Pet Nation. Seriously, I love hearing from you guys, and I want you to follow me on there to be up to date with everything what's happening straight away. That's where we post up to date things in our stories, our photos, pretty much everything. Also, if you want to take part in any upcoming videos, DM us on Instagram. We need people for the podcast. This is the most important thing. We need other people for it. Season 2 is just taking off now. We've got 4 people in season 2 at the moment. We need another 3, I suppose. 7. Yeah, 7's a good number. But we want them to be invet keepers, exotic keepers, people in the hobby. And also, I like to get my fans involved. My little sister came round last week, and she's under 10, but she did a fantastic job and wants to be a marine biologist when she's older. It's so helped her. Yeah, it really is. It really is, Jane. And I think that's the thing. I think if you can show them how to do stuff properly, it's going to make them want to do it. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to do it that way, Jade. It really does. Being able to test my fish tank water and cleaning out the animals, and then yeah, and this is the thing. My child knows how to test a fish tank. He knows about the nitrate. He knows about all of that as well. He also knows how to put the chemicals in. So he knows to put 2 drops into the chemicals. Hello, trying to laugh. You're right, mate. He knows how to put the 2 drops of chemicals into it to be able to see it. And it also looks at, so he looks at the chart. He looks at that. And he knows what colour it is. and then I explain to him, you've got to lower it or higher it or whatever. And it's such a fascinating thing. And it's also a good way of bonding with your child, sister, friend, mother, whoever you're teaching. It's a good way to bond. I know, trying to laugh you out, mate. It's my fish tank water clean up there. It's there now. Obviously, spirit, priceless. And that is so true. It's all about hands on. I think you learn more from hands on as well. Yeah, whacking it out like it's nothing. Let's get testing, Daddy. Yeah, but I'm looking at a minute. We're setting up a saltwater tank. We're not putting nothing in at the moment. We've just got like some shrimp in there at the minute and some cleanup crew to get obviously the biological side of it going as all that. But is my child enjoyed that quite a lot. That was a bigger experience than I thought with the freshwaters because there's lots of colourful lights and colourful things you've got to add to this for like coral, if you want coral, if you want sea anemones. He enjoyed it, but it costs thousands of pounds this tank to set up. It is absolutely phenomenal price. Oh, hello, mate. You all right? Well, like I say, we are obviously going to be coming up to this live pretty shortly. Just want to go over just certain things I want to talk to you about. Obviously, go over it again because we've got some new guys watching. I love hearing from you guys. Make sure you turn your bell on, mate, and make sure you subscribe. If you're not subscribed, honestly, it's a massive help to us. And also, it means that you'll be up the first one to see all the content. We are going to be updating new videos on Monday and Friday, 2 p.m. UK time for the foreseeable future. Hopefully, if fingers go crossed, we can edit everything out and get it all put out there. Like I say, Amy's working her butt off to film quite a lot of stuff when we're going away. I'm also working with another person who's going to be helping out with filming. I am still going to be filming quite a lot myself, but when we're doing a bigger event, so stuff where I'm more hands-on with the animals, like the crocodile side of it, she was there filming it, directing what to do, so that's going to be put together quite a lot better. Does that make sense? And obviously me just talking to a camera. I love salt. Yeah, it's so expensive. Oh, thanks so much, Jade. I appreciate that. It's been amazing talking to you. And obviously, if you've got any more questions, guys, let us know. I would love to hear from you guys, honestly. And I don't, like I said, I don't normally do live, but I thought I'll give you a video this week to give you a bit of a chat. And also, it's just all about, ask me what you want. I'm an open book. But it's going to be, I can't wait to release some of the videos what we've filmed. Like I said, there's so much going on behind the scenes. Follow us on Instagram. It's the most important thing. Instagram, JP's Pet Nation. Also follow us on TikTok. Our most popular video on TikTok is 758K. So it's nearly 1 million views it's had. That's absolutely amazing. That was us feeding the tiger. When a tiger chuffed back at us. When a tiger chuffs, it's basically a way to welcome each other. I said something like, enjoying it, chuffed at me, and that was an amazing experience. Actually, you've got any more questions? We're on for a couple more minutes now, and then I'm going to pop off and get all these questions out of the way. It's been nice chatting to you. We're an hour and a half on. Like I said, the next video on Monday is going to be the aquarium tour, where we get up close and personal with some of the sharks, up close and personal with some of the animals. And then on Friday, we're doing a Sea Life Centre tour in Skegness as well. That was pretty cool as well. We've got to see some baby seals. We also got to find a keeper and talk to them about the way that they keep them, how they actually release, rehabilitate, and rescue these animals. This is one of the places where they actually legitimately rescue animals to release them back into the wild. Does that make sense? Excuse me. So it's pretty good. It's fun talking to them. It was about it, and obviously, hopefully, I've filmed all that and got all that. It's all right, Hampstead. Um, it's a really good up there, Jade. Like I say, if you miss this live, don't worry, mate. Follow us on Instagram, JP's Pet Nation. We always put it up there first before we go live. Or also turn on the bell, mate, and give us a subscribe, and that will help you not miss our next one, mate. To make it a lot easier as well, guys, what we're going to do, we're going to be trying to update on Monday, 2 p.m. UK time, Friday, 2 p.m. UK time as well. Also, guys, if you want to be part of any of our podcasts or any of our upcoming videos, collaborations, anything like that, give us a DM on Instagram or leave a comment down below, because we are looking to have everyone involved. We're not going to scream against anyone. If you like me, you love me, you hate me, or you don't know me, I always want you involved, guys. It's so important to have everyone involved, because at the end of the day, it's all about being a big community, and that's the most important thing. It's not about discriminating against people, and if people don't like you, they kiss your ass. All right, guys, I'm going to see you later. Thanks for watching, guys, and I shall see you Monday, 2 p.m. UK time. Bye. Bye bye.